Hello vinyl community, how you doing? It's Bill with the Vinylverse. This is my first video of the year, so Happy New Year to everybody. Hope everyone is doing well. And usually at the start of the year, everyone's jumping in and doing the vinyl tag, and this year's no different. So I'm here to do the vinyl tag 2021. This is always something I enjoy doing. I love seeing all the different responses. I typically try to stay away from watching them until I get mine done. So I don't want to be swayed or influenced or anything from what I see other people show. So I try not to watch too many until I get mine done. It's great to see the participation this year. I feel like it's there's just a ton of them in my feed. It seems like every hour or so a new one pops up, so that's great. Vinyl tag started this year, as typically is, by Andrew over at Tales from the Crate. Andrew, wonderful guy, great to see him starting to put out some videos again. He kind of slowed down for a while, but yeah, Andrew, just a great guy. So before I jump into the 20 questions for the vinyl tag, I want to just give a shout out to a couple channels. First, Jacob, formerly known as Mo and Rock, his channel Mo and Rock. He, for 2021, he kind of just wiped his old channel and renamed it, took his videos down, and is starting fresh with a new name. And it is New Sounds and Old. So Jacob, good friend of mine, he lives in Denmark. Really great taste in music. He loves classical. He loves jazz. He African. He has a wide array of tastes, and I really enjoy seeing what Jacob shows, and he's just a great guy. So he wanted to reintroduce his channel, so I thought I'd give him a little shout out. He is also, with his introduction back into the VC video, he is running a contest right now. So I wanted to plug his contest, so maybe give you a little incentive to go over and check him out and maybe get in on this contest. Very, very easy contest, but I'll let Jacob describe that. And then a new channel to me, JB's Vinyl and Cassettes. So John over JB's Vinyl and Cassettes recently subscribed me. So I try to, if someone subscribes me, I try to go see if they make videos as well, and try to at least check them out to see if I'd be interested in watching their videos. So John, he's got a bunch of videos. I haven't really jumped into too many yet. I did watch one earlier today, and it's his 100 subscribers contest. So wanted to shout him out to, again, try to get people involved in maybe his contest. So both Jacob and John's links are down below. Check them out. Now, vinyl tag. This was, I really like this group of questions, but I really struggled with some of them. But I'm going to get started here. So I have a list of questions, and let's just jump in here. So first question is a discovery in 2020. So, Manfred Mann, Chapter 3. Of course, I knew Manfred Mann's Earth Band. I never knew the band Manfred Mann Chapter 3. I'm kind of drawing a blank on how I became familiar with them this year. It could have been Dave at Local Bandography that shared a post of this album with me, and probably from Permanent Records out in LA. So I took his advice, if it was in fact Dave, and checked this album out, and then I picked it up and wow, I was really blown away. This is jazz rock, and this is a really great meshing of both genres of jazz and rock. And I just fell in love with this album. This probably, since I picked it up, it was at least the summertime, May, June time frame. I probably listened to this album more than any other album over those months, May, June, July, August. Really wonderful stuff. So I discovered this in 2020. Number 2 is a quarantine buy. So I could have shown lots of albums for this, but local record store to me, I've talked about them before, Salmon Records. So with quarantining and everything, they had to close the store, but they kept their Discogs open, and they were posting to Instagram as well. And of course I wanted to support them to try to keep them getting some business, and they were showing some really great stuff, a bunch of that I picked up, and this is one of them. It's Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers, Like Someone in Love from 1967. It's a promo copy here, demonstration, not for sale. Of course, it's on Blue Note. Blue Note 4245. Terrific album. It's not a first press, but it's a real early press from 1967. So I was really happy to grab this from my favorite local store, Salmon Records. So, and it's in terrific shape here. Okay, number 3, an LP you want to find in 2021. I think the number 1 album that I would like to find in 2021 is Guru Guru's 1972 release, Kangaroo. I'm really jumping into kind of krautrock and that German prog stuff that came out in the early 70s into the mid to late 70s. That's certainly going to be a focus this year, and that is probably the number 1 album on my list of what I want to find. Its originals are very, very pricey, so it's unlikely that I'll get an original. Hard to find and expensive, but I will try to search out a reissue if I can, or who knows, maybe I'll luck into an original. Who knows? Okay, number 4, a box set. So I don't really have many box sets, but I do have this one, and this is John Coltrane, 1963, New Directions. This box set came courtesy of Mazzy in a contest I won of his a year and a half ago or so. So thank you again, Mazzy. I really love this box set. It's pretty much everything Coltrane recorded in the year 1963. So it's a wonderful, wonderful box set, and the pressings are all great. 5 LPs, and I'm definitely stoked to have this, and what a generous prize from Mazzy. Okay, number 5, a concept album. So I didn't want to go too obvious. My first thought was to do Genesis. See the poster back there, a picture I took from a concert. Was to do a Genesis album, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. It's my favorite album of all time. But I didn't want to go obvious, so I thought outside the box a little bit. And this is a record I picked up this year, and it is Rick Wakeman, Criminal Record. And this has the concept or theme of the album is criminality. So the whole album focuses on crime and the justice system and everything. So Rick Wakeman, the great keyboardist, most notably known for being in Yes. So here's a list of some of the songs that follow the concept: Statue of Justice, Chamber of Horrors, Judas Iscariot, Crime of Passion, Birdman of Alcatraz, and The Breathalyzer. So pretty good album from 1977. And the great thing about this is it also has Alan White and Chris Squire, also from Yes, playing on this album. So Rick Wakeman, Criminal Record. An album, next question is an album where an artist or band changed directions. So I struggled with this question and took a long time to figure out. I finally landed on Giant for a Day by Gentle Giant. This is their 9th studio album, I believe, from 1978. 1978. So Gentle Giant, great progressive rock band, one of my favorite bands. Just an incredibly proggy band, but so by the late 70s, prog was kind of dying out, and Gentle Giant were trying to hold on and stay relevant. So they tried to make a more pop, mainstream album, and honestly, they failed miserably with this album. It's not a very good album. I plan on doing a Gentle Giant ranking video at some point this year, hopefully within the next couple months. And you can take a guess at where this album would fall in my ranking. So they kind of stripped away the prog, and just not a very good album. It's not all bad, but it's not great. So Giant for a Day by Gentle Giant. So that was number 6. Number 7, a white label promo. I do have a handful of white label promos in my collection. I thought I'd show this, A Curious Feeling by Tony Banks, the keyboardist, founding member of Genesis. This came out in 1979, and this is a promo. This is a white label promo on Charisma. It's also got the gold stamp on the back here. So, really, really great album. It's kind of moody, but Tony's just got really great songwriting abilities, and this is a real enjoyable album. So, white label promo on the Charisma label there. So number 8, a compilation album. This is Frank Zappa, You Can't Do That on Stage Anymore, or Sampler. This came out in 1988, and this is an original from 1988. They just reissued this for Record Store Day, one of the Record Store Days. Pardon me, this year, or last year, 2020. And so 1988, it came out. From 1988 to 1992, Frank Zappa put out these You Can't Do That on Stage Anymore live sets. I think there were 2 disc sets each, and there were 6 of them. And they all came out on CD except for one. I think it was Volume 2 also came out on vinyl. But they put out a sampler on vinyl here. And this series, You Can't Do That on Stage Anymore, is live Zappa from the periods 1965 all the way up to 1988. So, really, really great. It's a really great live Zappa here. I don't know if you want to see the track list there. Great stuff. Okay, number 9. An album that tells a story or shares a story. I had a tough time with this one too. But just want to tell a quick story. 1996, Yes put out this album, Keys to Ascension. This was kind of like first time in, what about 18 years or so that the lineup of Steve Howe, John Anderson, Chris Squire, Alan White, and Rick Wakeman got back together for Yes. And they did a series of concerts, and they recorded some new tracks. And they put out this Keys to Ascension, which turned out to be a Volume 1, because they later put out a Volume 2. So yeah, 1996, they put this out, and to promote this release, they were on a TV show called Fox at Breakfast or something like that. Fox at Breakfast in New York. It was broadcast out in New York, but I'm pretty sure it was a national show hosted by a younger Tom Bergeron, however you say his name. So they performed out on the street, outside of the studio on the street. They performed to a group of people on the street. So me and a friend, we went up and we were part of that. And if I can get away with it, here's a clip, a little bit of a clip of where you see me in the video, much younger version of me. So take a look.
We have such a crowd outside of 26th and 5th.
So yeah, so that was a lot of fun. We were out on the street. They performed. They did America, the Simon and Garfunkel song America. They did their own version of it. They actually did it twice. I think they messed up the first time, then they did it over again.
Kathy, I'm lost, I said. Oh, no, I knew she was sleeping. Yeah.
And then they did a little encore of Roundabout. And then they went up into the studio and were interviewed on the show where they actually eat breakfast and talk with the host and everything. As part of that, later in the day, they were going to, I think it was, I can't remember what record store it was, if it was Tower Records or Virgin Record Store. I wish I remembered that, but I can't remember what store they were at. But they were going to do signing for this. So me and my buddy, we were there the whole day. I think after we were at the show, we went up to Strawberry Fields in Central Park and hung out there for a while, grabbed some dinner, and then went to meet Yes. And so I did bring a couple CDs for them to sign if I could get them. Sadly, I didn't get this signed. I don't know why, but I didn't. I did get Going for the One signed CD. I didn't bring any records to get signed, but I got their 1977 album, Going for the One. So John Anderson, Steve Howe, Alan White, and Chris Squire were all there signing Rick Wakeman. I'm not sure what happened, but he was not there. But they all signed. And then I had Chris Squire sign my CD of his solo album. And I had this gold marker there. And they're known to smear if you rub against them. So I have this memory of him signing it. And I must have just been beside myself, and I kind of grabbed it. And he's like, "Be careful." He's like... or he said something like, "Watch out, that'll smudge." So, and actually there is a little smudge over here. So, alright, maybe that wasn't a quick story, but That's 1996 when I actually got to meet Yes. An album that needs a vinyl pressing. Alright. Had a tough time with this one, but then it dawned on me. I think this is 1995, so David Bowie, Outside. David Bowie, this is his first working back with Brian Eno since the Berlin trilogy, so that was exciting. This could have been used for the concept album question. But I believe there is what's it called? An excerpt version on LP, but the full album is not on LP. So this, I would love for this to get pressed to vinyl. And this is what it says on the inside here. It says, The Diary of Nathan Adler, or The Art Ritual Murder of Baby Grace Blue. A non-linear gothic drama hypercycle. So it's kind of like a drama told through the songs. So about a murder. Yeah, so David Bowie, Outside from 1995. Love for this to be pressed to vinyl. Now we are on number 11, a common album and an uncommon album. Well, a common album, I just mentioned them, Simon and Garfunkel, Bridge Over Troubled Water. This is 1970, 1969, I think. 1970. Yeah, real common album. You can get these, you see them everywhere, you get them cheap. But very good album. Definitely common. An uncommon album from did I write it down? 1967. Yeah, 1967. Without Reservations by Simon Dupree and the Big Sound. This is a reissue on Music on Vinyl. Simon Dupree and the Big Sound. It was a English kind of soul pop band with a little psychedelic thrown in. They had somewhat of a hit with song Kites that was later covered by Manfred Mann, who I just shown. But Simon Dupree and the Big Sound is the band the Schumann Brothers, Phil, Derek, and Ray. Derek, Ray, and Phil, I believe, from Gentle Giant. They went on, after Simon Dupree and the Big Sound, they went on to form Gentle Giant. Yeah, so this is kind of just soul music, which is a really good album. Okay, number 12, an EP. So I have a 10-inch EP here. It's King Crimson, Uncertain Times from 2018. King Crimson put this out in 2018. It's kind of live recordings from 2015, 2016, 2017, and 2017, and then was put out in 2018. Very interesting artwork here. These paintings were done by Francesca Sunston. So that's an EP, King Crimson, Uncertain Times, and a 10-inch album there. Number 13, a girl group. Surprisingly, I don't have a lot of girl group stuff in my collection. This is the only full girl group album that I have, and it's the Go-Go's, Beauty and the Beat from 81. Honestly, this is a terrific album. I really like this album. of course, We Got the Beat, Our Lips Are Sealed are the big ones on here. But yeah, Go-Go's, all girl group. I need to get more girl groups into my collection. Number 14, an album cover you love. So I love album artwork, and I could have picked many albums here. But I didn't want to keep showing the same bands and mention, I've already repeated bands. But I landed on Pink Floyd Animals. I've always loved this artwork. You know, you got the power plant with the pig flying up there. Industrial, dark, smoky. Really fits the music and the themes on this album. So iconic album cover in my opinion, and I just think it's great. I need an upgrade of this album. This is got a bit of surface noise in it that I need to get the reissue that they put out. I've been really liking the Pink Floyd reissues, so that's another goal for this year, is to get Animals. Okay, number 15, an album that you've listened to the most. I took this as like of all time. I don't know for certain, but I know that I've listened to this album a heck of a lot. Not this exact copy, but over the years through CD and the different vinyl copies that I've had. And that is Genesis Foxtrot from 1972. Cover art done by Paul Whitehead there. He also designed the Genesis logo. Closing track, Supper's Ready. 23 minutes, I think. Epic song by Genesis, Supper's Ready. Yeah, but ever since I fell in love with it back in the mid to late 80s, I've played this one a ton. So Genesis Foxtrot. An album you had to get an OG copy of. Okay, so I've had this album for years on CD, but I wanted to get an OG because when it was put to CD, it was redone kind of, and I'll explain. So it's Michael Nesmith, The Prison, and this is from 1974, I think. Yeah, 1974. So this came in a box here, as you can see there. This is an original. Got it a few years ago. When he first put this out, I guess he wasn't fully satisfied with the mix of it. So he went back and he added more synthesizers and stuff, and put that version out on CD, which I also have. And then later on, he wasn't even happy with that, and he did it over again, and he kind of changed it up again and made it a little more like this version, and but still with the synthesizers and stuff. So this is the only way to get it on vinyl, is to have an original, and I actually prefer this over the synth stuff. It gets sounding a little more new agey, but the thing about Nesmith with this album is you listen to the music while you're reading the novella that he wrote. There's a book inside of here, so it's a book with a soundtrack, it says. So it's supposed to be a multi-media experience, I guess. So The Prism by Michael Nesmith, 1974. Okay, number 17, the last album you purchased. And this is a biggie. I've had stuff come in that I had pre-ordered before, but this is the last album that I purchased. Yeah, this is the last album I purchased. This is the 2 LP, 45 RPM original master recording of Miles Davis' Kinda Blue. I was so happy to see them put this back out, and I jumped on it immediately. It is numbered, pretty high number there, 20,168. I don't know how many they've actually pressed, but that's the last album I purchased. Okay, number 18, an album they don't get. This question isn't really a specific album, although I'm going to show an album. It's more the artist. So the Alan Parsons Project. Kind of like pop prog or symphonic prog or symphonic pop, or I don't know. But Alan Parsons Project does not get much love, at least from my experience. I happen to really like Alan Parsons' music. I like Alan Parsons. I think he's obviously he's a great producer. He worked on Dark Side of the Moon. He worked with the Beatles. Am I getting that correct? I think he worked with the Beatles. Pretty sure. But he definitely worked on Dark Side of the Moon. Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. But yeah, I think he's got quite a few underrated albums. This is a very good album. This is Tales of Mystery and Imagination, Edgar Allan Poe. Probably my favorite album is I, Robot. If anybody is interested in checking the Alan Parsons Project out, I would definitely start with I, Robot. Yeah, great stuff, in my opinion. I like it. Okay, number 19, a punk album or the closest thing you have to it. This is the question I have the hardest time with, because I don't really collect punk. I don't have any punk in my collection, or what really is considered punk. It's not my thing. I respect it. I respect the place that it has, but not really my thing. But earlier this year, I did pick this up. I found it in a local store here, and it is MC5 Kick Out the Jams, and this is the uncensored version. This album I do like a lot. I guess maybe kind of precursor to punk. Yeah, so that is going to be my response. Okay, the final question. Number 20, favorite 2020 reissues. So there were many great reissues this year, and I have some of them. John Coltrane, I Love Supreme, and Giant Steps. Both were reissued, and I love them both, especially Love Supreme, one of my all-time favorite albums. But I landed on this one. First of all, it was a surprise that it got reissued. Everyone had been crying for it to get reissued, and it finally did. And I just love the album. It is Tom Petty, Wildflowers. This is the 3 LP version. That's Wildflowers and all the rest. I am pretty confident that I am not the only one showing this for this question. They did such a terrific job reissuing this one. The pressing is really, really incredible. Dead quiet. It just sounds great. The packaging is very nice. and it was long overdue to come out, to get reissued. So really happy that they did this. And of course we all miss Tom. So that is the 20 questions, Vinyl Tag 2021. Sorry that this went kind of long. Thank you everyone for sticking through this one and watching. I appreciate it. I hope everyone's doing well. Hope 2021 is a great one for everybody. We need a better year than 2020. So everyone, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you soon. Take care now. Bye.